being done with a workout, you know. I always feel so calm and relaxed, and I just feel satisfied, I guess is maybe the right word for it. Like right now, I just feel like I accomplished something, you know. I feel like I'm at ease, which is kind of rare for me anyway. I feel like I'm just relaxed. I feel like I accomplished something. I worked hard in there, and now I feel like I can just take it easy for a second, which is kind of a nice feeling, you know. I don't know the science behind it, but I'm pretty sure there's like some endorphins and some what's that word? Dopamine? Is it dopamine? That your brain gives you, makes you feel all good. Anyway, I think I'm kind of feeling some of that right now, which is cool. But I enjoy the feeling of being done with the workout. So anyway, moving on to the rest of the video. Earlier today, I wrote down, how does everybody stay at a job so long? I was thinking about how I have one coworker who's maybe 50, you know, he's got some gray going on. And he's been working at the same job for, and this isn't even really that long of an example. Or like his example he hasn't even been there very long. He's only been there for, I think, a year and a half or 2 years, I think. But he's been doing the same job that I've been doing for 2 years, basically. So he's been doing that, and I'm sick of my job, and I was sick of my job, and it's fine. I enjoy it a little bit, but I understood everything, and I got sort of sick of my job after the first week or two, you know, probably after the first 2 weeks. And I was just kind of thinking about, like, I'm just amazed that people stay at one singular job for so long. And I can promise you it's not because they love it so much. You know, I know plenty of people that have been at jobs they hate for a lot of years. Of course, there are some that actually have found something that they love and that they really, really enjoy doing, and that's why they're there, and that's why they have been there for so long. That's real too, but I think that that's probably the minority. I think that a majority of people, or a majority of the people that I'm thinking of anyway, stay at jobs they aren't happy with for a really long time, and I think it's just because they get scared of change. You know, they get scared to go through the whole process of, maybe you have to move, maybe you have to tell your family, all right, there's going to be some changes financially, we're not going to be able to go out to movies anymore, or I don't know, maybe there's different things like that you are scared of bringing up, or scared of entering into. Maybe you're scared if you leave this quote-unquote safe job, that there's a chance, I don't know, for you to lose your house, or maybe your mortgage has become out of reach or something. I think just that the fear of change is really what's causing people to stay, to settle for less, really, because change is scary, you know, and I've been over that a lot now. Many times in the past, I've mentioned that change is scary, and change is scary for everybody. It's not just a select few people that aren't scared of change, or that are scared of change. I mean, change is scary regardless of who you are. I think that some people react differently to it, and some people feel it more intensely, maybe. But everyone fears change. That's just kind of the way it goes. I guess I'm kind of getting off topic now, but I was just amazed, and I just wanted to, I guess, bring up the point that it's interesting that people settle at jobs they don't like for a long period of time. It's one thing to do a job that maybe you need maybe you have to work there for a month or two, or maybe like a year, just to make ends meet until you reach your end goal. But a lot of times people just keep working there, and they're like, all right, well, this has worked, why not just stay here? And then they lose sight of their end goal, you know? So anyway, that was the first bullet that I wrote. Hang on, let me park so I don't crash. I saw a pretty gnarly, like, real crash today, on the way back, on the way to my little therapist person meeting appointment. I saw a pretty decent little crash. Some screechy tires and stuff, and they just tagged him. Anyway, next thing on the list. Oh, it was on my phone. What else did I have on that list? Hang on. How's everybody? See, I just feel at ease right now. Like normally, when I don't have a thing to talk about in front of the camera, I kind of feel like anxious, and I feel like I'm under the gun to say something. But right now, it's like I don't know. I just kind of feel okay not remembering what I even talked about. I'd like to remember. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But I don't know. I just think that if you're not happy with your job, and my sister actually brought this point up to me, and you might be one of the only ones watching this video, just for the record, hello. She was brought up this point that if you don't enjoy your job, and if it's making you feel a certain way, then why not quit? Why not make a change? Because if my job's making me feel lonely, and if I'm not enjoying how I feel at that job, I'm 22. Why not make a change? Why wouldn't I quit? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen? So one scenario is I quit. I can't find a different job, even though I've already got another job. Worst possible case scenario is that I ask for more hours at Whetstone and they don't give that to me. And I just continue doing part-time at Whetstone. And I don't know that I could quite survive off of just that living. Off of just that, I probably couldn't. But I have other options. I could do that, and I have the Lyft driving thing, and I could expand my horizons a little bit. So I think it might be worth considering. If I'm not happy working at this job, why would I continue working there? And I think it's as simple as that, really. Because again, I think that it's easy to fall into that trap of, this job works. I'm kind of getting used to it. I know what I'm doing there. There's no confusion. It's a safe job. I get paid decent. Like it's the same. It's just the rat race, right? It's totally the rat race. Rich Dad Poor Dad obviously goes over that basically the entire book. But I think a lot of that you're just in danger of becoming a rat in the rat race. Is just okay. I feel safe. I'll just do this until I. Well, you would have to kind of for the most part. I think that people that are doing the same thing that I am. I was thinking about that recently, and I've been over this. I think with my other friends and family. If I'm a single person who lives, I have roommates, but like I live alone. I live a very simple life. I live cheaply, and I don't spend much money. It's just me. I live a very rudimentary, is that the right word? Just simple, cheap life, essentially. And I'm working the same job that 50-year-old man who has a wife and like 3 kids and a mortgage and a car and insurance. How is that person not, they're in debt, right? They almost certainly, I can almost promise you that they are in debt because there's no way they're making even $1 or $2 more than I am per hour. And even if they were, my dad was saying that if you make $30 an hour, because $30 an hour sounds pretty good, that's not a bad number for a lot of people. $30 an hour is only $60,000 a year. That's not that much to survive off of. $60,000 a year is, for a lot of people, that's not nearly enough. For me, I could. That's a lot for me personally right now where I'm at in my life. But for most people, $60,000, you're in debt. That's $30 an hour, and I'm getting paid $14 an hour. And I know that my employees aren't getting paid much more than that. Even if they were getting paid double that, even if they were getting paid $28 an hour, their heads are underwater. They are in trouble because they got a family. They have more expenses than I do. They have way more overhead costs than I do. So I don't know. I guess I was just thinking about that. And how I don't want to live that lifestyle. I don't want to be concerned about money until I die. I want to be able to live a free life. I want to be able to have money coming in passively so that I don't even have to work. And that sounds all grandiose and, lulu la la voodoo magic, whatever fake fantasy. That's real. I think that's a real possibility that I know can happen. But people aren't willing to do the things that I think you need to. People aren't willing to wake up early. People aren't willing to stay up late. People aren't willing to sacrifice and have discipline and go to classes and do these things when you don't really feel like doing it. And I think you're not always going to feel like doing it. If you only do the things that you want to do when you feel like doing them, you're in trouble. I promise you're in trouble. If you only go to the gym when you feel like going to the gym, I promise you're never going to go to the gym. You're never going to go to the gym. I think you have to become disciplined enough to do things that are beneficial to you, whether you feel like it or not. And that's not easy. That takes, I think, that's a gradual process to get to that stage and to that point in life. But I think that it's a worthwhile process, because once you get there, and not that I'm a master at all of this, but I've figured a few things out along the way, and I've figured out what works for me and what makes me feel good at the end of the day. And a lot of that is doing the things that I don't really feel like doing, and knocking them out now. If you wait, Tony Robbins always says, if you have the idea in your head now, take advantage of that opportunity and do the thing now. Don't wait until you get home, because once you get home, you have laundry and you got emails and bills and you got to make your food. I mean, all this stuff gets in the way. So when you have these ideas, I think it's important to take advantage of those opportunities and follow through with them now in the moment. And I'm working on that same thing too, but I think that that's a worthwhile thing as well. So it's a whole process. People are going to start out at different places. People are going to start out, like in the fitness industry, for example, in the gym. People are going to start out, some people are going to be 400 pounds and have a long, long ways to go. Some are going to be like a similar physique to me, and they don't have much more to do. It just depends on kind of what your goals are. But everyone's going to start out in different places, and you have to be willing to just go through that process and through that journey to get where you want to go. I guess I kind of went off on a rant there. I don't even really know how I got there. But I think that there's just some interesting things that are worthwhile, that might not feel the best in the moment, but they're worthwhile in the long run. Anyway, I forgot even what I was talking about. So anyway, I'm going to make some food. I went to therapy earlier, for like a little interview session, like a free consultation. And then in a couple hours, actually, I'm going to go do another therapy session. So I'm really dialing things down. And it was kind of cool, actually. The last session I went to, she was just like shocked that I was just talking about how I'm looking for somebody that can help me with attaching to somebody and relationships and connecting to people, and unraveling and uncovering how my past as a child is affecting me now, and kind of how my history is affecting my current relationships now today. And it was kind of cool to hear her say that she was just impressed. She was just kind of like, most people, first of all, don't come in until they're 50 or 60 years old. And most people don't even talk about that. They don't even know what to talk about. So it's kind of cool for me to hear a professional, I don't know if she has a PhD or what her deal is, honestly. But she went to school, like 8 extra years of school, which I guess would be a PhD, right? Or at least a master's, I think. To hear her say, though, that she was impressed with what I was doing, and that will be worthwhile. And so it's kind of cool to have that validation, that this work will not go unnoticed and it'll be beneficial to me. Which I guess is kind of the point, but I don't know. It's kind of cool to have that verified to me. This is getting it's a pretty long video now. But you can see, though, how I think that you can tell from the other videos that this video felt different to you and to me. Just speaking to the camera, it just felt different after a workout, I just feel more like free flowing. Ideas come more quickly. I feel more clear in my speech and my thoughts and my ideas. And I just enjoy, I think that I need to start working out more. I just do it 3 times a week. I certainly do the 3 a week, and I might start kind of increasing that, or like on off days, I'll do, maybe like cardio instead, or maybe some yoga. But active body, active mind, right? Active body equals active mind. And I really believe that. And I can feel that, and I notice that in my life. So I noticed that in my life. Anyway, I'm going to make this video less short now. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Roger out.